Sage Wanderer here, and some important news is coming out today concerning the Seth Rich case. Now, if you're not aware of this, a quick summary. Seth Rich was a data expert working on the computer systems for the Democratic National Convention during the Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders campaign for the primary nomination of the Democratic Party. And the facts are Seth Rich was found shot dead mysteriously on a Washington, D.C. sidewalk. Seth Rich, being in charge of the data, many people believe might be the source for the WikiLeaks of the Podesta emails and the Clinton emails and the DNC emails. The very thing that this Russian collusion malarkey was based on. If you go back in time and remember this, at just before the election or after the election especially, there was this argument that these DNC emails that were leaked came from Russian sources that were working with Donald Trump, that the entire collusion game is based on this fallacy, this outright lie that the emails came from Russia, when there is no direct evidence that they came from Russia at all. In fact, there's strong evidence that suggests that they didn't come from any hack whatsoever, since the amount of time it took to for the information to leave the server, that information is recorded. How long did it take to download the information? If it were a hack, it would be coming through some mainline TI or T1 or Wi-Fi or wireless connection, and no matter how you slice it, those data transfer speeds aren't fast enough to account for the log. The log in the computer reports that it was almost an instantaneous download of massive amounts of information, which suggests it was a direct transfer from a server to a hard drive or a flash drive. And that it was Seth Rich who had access to all of this, who downloaded all of the information and was the source for the WikiLeaks of the Podesta, DNC, and Hillary Clinton emails. That also not only did it expose their plot against Bernie Sanders, but it also exposes some interesting things, some code words. I won't name it, but you know what I'm talking about, that might suggest child trafficking or even Satanism might be involved with these higher level people surrounding Hillary Clinton. So Seth Rich was believed by many, including, Julian Assange from WikiLeaks promised that he would not ever reveal the name of his sources under any circumstances. But being as Seth Rich is dead, you think he would reveal that, but still he did not want to, for fear that it would somehow compromise his character or his reputation for protecting sources. But Julian Assange offered $20,000 as a reward to anybody who brings out information concerning Seth Rich's death and leading to the prosecution of his killers. And at more than one time, in more than one way, Julian Assange has hinted at, suggested, almost downright said that Seth Rich is where he got the emails from, and Julian Assange absolutely denies categorically and across the board, regardless of what anyone says. He says he did not get any of that information from Russia or from any other state, that it came from an individual. So Seth Rich was the person that most people believed leaked the information because he was a Bernie Sanders supporter, and he was very angry, and rightfully so, that the Democrats had rigged the election against Bernie Sanders. So he gave the information to WikiLeaks, and then within a few days of that exchange, he was found dead on a Washington, D.C. street, murdered, shot twice in the back. Many people believe that it was a hit by the deep state. The police say it was a botched robbery, except for nothing was stolen from Seth Rich. His wallet full of money and credit cards, his watch, his jewelry, all intact. All you got is a guy shot twice in the back. Some are reporting that he was alive when he went to the hospital, and something nefarious happened to him in the hospital, that he was destined to survive the two gunshots when someone else got to him in the hospital and finished him off. So What you have here, what it looks like, is a deep state hit. So, what's being reported today is that there is a lawyer that represents an individual who witnessed the crime or is in some way a witness to this execution of Seth Rich. And he is naming an ATF agent and a DEA agent as the perpetrators of this hit, this deep state hit. And if you're asking yourself, why would the DEA and the ATF be working for Hillary Clinton? Because it's going to come out that she was collecting large sums of money from rulers around the globe, from the communist Chinese, from the Saudi Arabians, and she was selling state secrets and privileges to the highest bidder. And to make that happen, she was spreading the money around because there was billions of it. She was spreading it around to all of the people around her, people in the DNC, people in the deep state, and the ATF and the DEA, or at least members of them, were willing to do her killing for her. And this is what this witness is supposed to reveal today. The names of these two deep state agents. Will they turn state's evidence to avoid being spending the rest of their life in prison or potentially the death penalty? I don't know if they have that in D.C. But at any rate, will they cut a deal and name the people who called in the hit? Well, we'll find out whether all of this is true or not. You can check out the detailed report on the Still report, because he is reporting on this information today and has been, and other sources as well. And I'm sure as soon as the news conference happens, it will be, at least to some degree, mainstream. At least Alex Jones will probably cover it, and maybe Fox, but we will see. Did Seth Rich, is he the one that's responsible for releasing the damning information against Hillary Clinton's campaign regarding Bernie Sanders? Because I think he was. And it's the reason I left the Democratic Party. Look at my #walkaway video and you will see what a role that played in turning me around and waking me up to what was going on in the Democratic Party. God save our republic.